it's not only recent years. Let's go back 15 years back, or let's say 20 years back when there was no digital, right? Let's say you're wearing a fantastic blue t-shirt. When I meet you in person, I would say, Rajesh, you look really nice in that t-shirt. Where did you get it from? What brand is it? Right? You would tell me it's that brand, and I would be motivated or tempted to buy it. Right? What is that? That you are an influencer to me. I like what you're doing, so I would follow you. Right? It's the oldest form of advertising. Whether you call it peer-to-peer advertising, or you call it, let's say, a micro or a nano influencer advertising, that we all are influencers to our immediate circle. Right? Just before the call, when we started talking, Jamit said that he really likes my red glasses. And hopefully he's going to get one of them soon, right?
I was going to ask you that only.
That's probably in my circle, I have this ability to influence the people who are associated with me, right? That's 15 or 20 years back. Today, Rajesh, what has happened is that because of this digital adoption, right? You are able to get these people on the platform. Now, whether you, and I'm talking about all genuine followers, whether you have 500, 5,000 or 5 million, there is a huge opportunity for advertisers and for brands to monetize this. Right? That's one way of looking at it. The second way of looking at it, why is it that every single TV ad that you see on the television has a macro influencer, or what we call them celebrities? Is the same. The foundation of advertising is still the same. They get these celebrities, or in technical word, macro influencers, because they are able to influence your decision making. But with digital adoption, I personally believe that this is going to break down further. I mean, there was a joke that in the recently concluded IPL, whenever there was an over break, if there are 5 advertisements, 4 of them will have Akshay Kumar. I mean, I personally love the guy. I have nothing against him. But look at that, because he's able to influence. So he's there. But on the digital, because it gives us the ability to customize the creatives and ability to interact one-on-one or in a smaller segment, do you think there is a huge opportunity which is still untapped? I strongly believe so. And that's the reason that I'm personally investing a company which is looking into this area.
So Gulriz, let me just push you over there. I think it's very interesting you speak about influencer marketing. To my mind, and help me decipher this. There are 2-3 reasons why I may want to look at influencer marketing. Tell me if the thinking is right, or all three, or combination. One, CPM buy. He drives X amount of views, full stop. So whether your brand is there present, is it a cheaper way to buy? Is it as expensive or cheap of the kind of target that you would have otherwise spent anywhere else? So you're trying to normalize on CPM. Second, you want brand association. He's damn cool. I want to be cool. And what do? Akshay Kumar is no longer so cool to a millennial as Bhuvan Bam is. Okay, so maybe that's one of the associations. Third is there is a core loyalty. Again, sorry, Bhuvan Bam suddenly popped up in my head when I was thinking influencer, because I remember he was doing for a spectacle brand, and I remember him tweeting that, "Bhai, main pahunch raha hu at this mall," and there was like 3,000 people just there. There is a loyalty that influencers tend to drive. To my mind, there are 3. Is there 4, 5 more, or is there a combination of this, or how does a brand look at it when they say influencer marketing karna hai from metric and not just bhai tick mark hai 360 degree ke liye?
I would say, depending on the region you're talking about, it can be a tick mark, or it can be, depending on the advertiser, it can be an essential core form of advertising. But let me cover all the 3 things that you mentioned. CPM, it's a payment metric. I would not advise any of your audience or any of the brand metric to just be doing influencer because it's a payment metric based on CPM. What does it do for your brand is more important than how you buy it, right? That's very, very critical. Let me cover the third aspect before covering the second, which is the core loyalty. So let me tell you a small story. My son wanted a laptop, and given that he's about 12 years, he's into gaming. So he researched that what laptop he's going to buy. on all the e-commerce, and then said, okay, Papa, let's go and check it out physically. So we checked out Croma, we checked out, whatever is available in Bombay, all the shops. And finally, he went to Croma. The decision, the way he made it, is because of that sales guy. Because that model was not in his consideration basket, but the sales guy on the counter was a gamer himself. And he spoke to my son and myself saying that if you're looking for gaming, these are the three things which are more important, whether it's the refresh rate, which is, the entire refreshing of the screen, and the RAM, and the third aspect, whatever. And he was able to associate it with my son, saying that if this is what you're looking, this is what you should get. And I'm a gamer myself, so I will be asking you or telling you to go ahead with this. Although it was probably 10% higher than the original budgeted price, but because the sales guy was a gamer and he was able to associate with the audience, my son went ahead with that purchase.
And the fact that I have a dad, that's damn cool.
Well, that's true. That's true. But the foundation remains that the sales guy, because he was able to associate with the audience, was able to influence the decision. And who was the sales guy? He was the gamer. So he was immediately able to relate. So your third point, which is about the core loyalty, is super strong. When you like a particular thing, and we all are very individualistic today, we have our all individual likings and dislikes, and we all consume content in different ways. And there we follow different people, right? And the moment that association becomes a stronghold for brands, I think it's a win-win situation. And that's really, really important. I see the second point about your brand association, that will always be there. I mean, you would still have your brands to go with the top celebrities, either to drive image or mass awareness, and that's a separate game altogether. But imagine the evolution of influencer. Imagine that from CPM. You remember I said earlier in the conversation that you used to sell Google on CPM, and today Google is all about CPA. Imagine a scenario where you can buy influencer on a CPA. That's, again, I'm not saying it's just a payment model, but I'm just saying in an ideal scenario, imagine that scenario and how effective it will be for advertising. And for all the people who are technical, I would say it becomes not as the marketing cost, it becomes cost of goods sold.